We all know we're supposed to have insurance, right? Auto, homeowners, renters. It's a lot, right? And how much are you supposed to be paying? What's your coverage? What's your policy even include? These are great questions, and if you don't know the answer, then you want to stay tuned to this episode. So, wanted to talk today. I did a recent blog article, carabelsby.com, that talked about home security. And I thought, you know what? I need to bring you both in because you guys have so much great information. And it's information that not a lot of people know about. So I wanted to start a little bit today with you, Jonnie, about insurance. You work for Colorado Insurance Brokers. Let's talk a little bit about insuring your home and property because, of course, your family and your home and assets are your most important things.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you for having me. So I'm Jonnie Anderson with Colorado Insurance. So we are a broker. We have 15 companies that we write through. And you know what? The benefit of that is the rates in Colorado are going up. And I mean, across the board, every carrier. So as your rates are creeping up, I think people sort of take for granted, yes, I have my home insurance. I pay for it through my mortgage. I don't really know what I'm paying, but I know that it's there. But when you need it, you want to make sure that you have the things that you need. So endorsements are so important. And if your agent doesn't set you up properly with the endorsements because maybe they're trying to cut the premium down, so they don't include
Make
things.
it cheaper.
Exactly, yeah. So
Now,
just to be
explain
more
an
competitive.
endorsement because a lot of people don't. Like you said, they come to me, they buy a home, they need their mortgage. I include sometimes in the impound or escrow account, you put in the insurance and the is part of your and taxes are part of your payment. So they don't think about it again.
No.
So they
And they don't
know.
dive into the actual insurance policy.
Right.
So, of course, your insurance is going to include coverage for the dwelling,
Yep.
for your personal property, for liability. But endorsements are the things that are not automatically or legally included on a policy, such
Okay.
as water sewer backup coverage is one of the most common claims to make in Colorado.
Right.
And it's not always included. And so, say somebody's their dishwasher or their water heater, they poop out on them, and you have water all over your basement. Personally, this happened to me about 2.5 years ago. We hadn't been in our finished basement for about 3 days, and we go down there, and the carpet is soaking wet.
Oh no.
Just soaking wet. And we tracked it back down to our water heater had been slowly trickling water for about 3 days. So we had to replace subflooring. We had to replace the hardwood. We had to replace the carpet. We had to replace areas of the drywall. We had personal property that was ruined. And that is not always included on an insurance policy, and that's terrifying.
I would not have known that.
Yes, yeah. So we made a claim for about $10,000 that luckily, me being the insurance agent, I had set us up. I had the endorsement on our policy. But this is actually a perfect segue into what Jennifer offers. So I needed a new water heater. There was not an insurance claim that caused my water heater to start to trickle. So, of course, all of the damage to my home was covered on my homeowner's insurance policy endorsement, but my water heater, I mean, sorry, out of luck, we don't, the insurance policy doesn't cover it. Yes.
Yeah, because people forget about that, which is
Yes.
why I thought it was so important that
Yeah.
Jen's here with us too,
Right.
because and this is something again when you're buying a home and you're in that mortgage process. I mention this to people, but a lot of people don't put in that extra few
Right.
$100s to, and this is where real estate agents are really empowered to say, hey, I want to put a few $100s into this so that my buyer has the protection if it's not a brand new home to get the warranty, right?
Well, even on brand new homes. So with the home warranty, we don't cover secondary damage. So with home warranties, think of it as like extending the manufacturer's warranty. So if something breaks due to normal wear and tear, something just happens to break, like a water heater, your dishwasher, your kitchen refrigerator, your AC, your furnace, some of those very expensive equipments, you have to spend thousands of dollars to get it repaired. Average repair for a water heater replacement is $1,500 to $2,500.
Wow.
And when you have a home warranty, you can call that company out and they'll come out and fix it Sometimes for just the simple service fee of $75, it can range anywhere from $50 to $100. And if you have to replace it, there will be some additional charges, but you're still saving yourself $1,000. Yeah, it
right.
covers the main unit, which is where you, as a homeowner, when you're buying your home, the last thing you want to do is go in and have your furnace break 2 weeks after you move in, or
Yes.
have an AC break in the middle of summer when it's your first year in the home. You weren't the one that installed it. You weren't the one that was living there for the whole time, so you don't know what the quality is.
Yeah.
You want some sort of protection, because I can tell you, my dad lives in Vegas. 124 degrees during the
Vegas.
summer. I know. Love Vegas.
Let's go.
I love visiting him. Last summer, his AC went out. And my dad's disabled, so it was, hard for him to talk to people and kind of explain what was going on. So we called a technician out, and
Well, that's
shame
no
on me.
joke when the AC goes
man.
in Vegas.
It's bad.
Especially
And
in
when
summer.
you are disabled, you need to have something to help pull
Yes.
you down and things like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, shame on me for not putting a home warranty on his house at that point. I did literally the
Oh.
week after, because I was like, this isn't going to happen again.
Yeah.
But we called the tech out, and he's like, yep, it's going to be $17,000. We have to replace your AC and your furnace. And I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh.
yeah, he's retired on a fixed income. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And thankfully, my brother sent out his friend that was also an AC tech. He's like, nope, the battery on your thermostat was bad. So it was a $10 battery replacement, and
So
his
this
AC
guy
started
was
working.
cha-ching, cha-ching.
And you get that a lot, because it is easier to replace a unit than it is to repair
Yeah.
a unit. Because you can replace it by ordering a new unit and setting everything up, and it's easy, done. If you have to repair a unit, you have to order the parts, you have to wait for them to come in, you have to find the parts and all of that
It's a
stuff.
bigger deal.
It is a bigger deal.
Well, and
So
the other
those-
thing is a lot of people take advantage, you know, and so whether you're a millennial and you're
Right.
young, you just may not know, or you're
Exactly.
an older person and they take advantage. So I
Exactly.
think that's why I'm doing this, because it's so important to know these little things that you girls are teaching, because I mean, most people don't know this stuff. I know more than the average bear because I work with you both.
So we're always
and I
jamming
learn
it down your
from
throat.
you. Yes, I have to know. You have to know, Cara. So yeah, I mean, I know more than most, but it's, occasionally it's nobody else knows this.
Right.
So it's just important that everybody knows that's out there. So your dad was able to actually get some AC.
Yeah, he got his AC fixed with changing out the battery, which to me was like, I can't believe they're going to charge me $17,000 to
Yeah.
replace his AC.
Can you imagine that?
And if he had the warranty and our tech went out there and said, nope, you need a new AC, all my dad would have paid would have been modifications to the house. So if we had
Okay.
to change the way the venting system matched up with the new
Right.
system, things like that, he would have had to pay for that, which can equate to less than $1,000. So, I mean,
or the fee to come in.
or the fee to come out,
$75
yeah.
or whatever.
So
yeah.
it's one of those things. It's not going to cover everything, but it will definitely protect your budget.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about having an extra $6,000 in the bank should something happen.
Yeah.
Because nowadays, with first-time home buyers, especially in this
Yeah.
market, they're using everything they have to
Yeah.
buy a house. The last thing they want to do is to have an extra couple grand should something break when they first move in.
Yeah.
And that's why home warranty, even just talking about it with them and showing them the advantages, is so important.
Yeah.
Because it's not one of those things that is talked about every single time.
Nope. And if
And-
you can do it at purchase, when you're
Exactly.
buying the home and you're already putting that little bit
Yes.
down, and you just save for a few extra hundred,
Exactly.
it saves you thousands. Because you had to then get a whole new water
Oh, yeah.
heater going
Yep.
back to your scenario.
Yep, sure did. That was
And-
fun.
I mean, and the sad thing is too, what also you don't realize, during inspections, you can ask for it from the seller. So ask
Yeah.
for it from the seller if you
So
are.
that's a good tip.
Because it's not something that you think about. And when they're doing the inspection and everything comes back great, but they say, you know what, the furnace, it might be on its last leg, or the water heater's on its last leg, just ask for the home warranty, because that'll cover it if it breaks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
So-
that way the seller's paying the home warranty. You're
Exactly.
not having to, if you're buying a home, and you're
Exactly.
calling me, I'm going to see if I can't get that agent to add in a home warranty on this, so that the
Exactly.
person selling the home is actually paying for it.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
protects the sellers from anything that could happen to in the long run. So
Right.
it's a double protection. It protects your buyers, it protects the sellers, and it even helps protect the agent from something should
Yes.
something happen after the fact. It looks like the agent was actually looking out for their clients, and
Yeah.
it's not one of those, hey, you knew that this was going to break and you didn't say anything to me.
So that's why I think it's so funny that more agents don't do that.
Yeah.
Really,
Right,
honestly.
exactly. And it's, I mean, the money is going to be spent somewhere along
Yeah.
the line, you know, and adding an endorsement on your insurance policy for an extra, I don't know, $100 a year, $10
Yeah.
a month maybe, putting a couple $100 a year towards a home warranty, and it saves you thousands and thousands of dollars. I mean,
Mhm.
it's
Well, and it makes you sleep better at night, I
Right.
find, because if you have something that you know, again, the most important thing for anyone is their family.
Yep.
And then the next thing is the most expensive purchase, which is
Your
your
home.
home. And then, of course, all the stuff, all of the crap that you collect and put in
Right.
there. But really, it's the bodies that are in there, and,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, the family members. So you want to make sure that, and again, it's something that people have to have. They don't really think about it.
Exactly.
And more people, like I said, I can't believe more, you know, agents don't
Right.
go, hey, you know, we're going to make sure to protect our clients and get them a warranty.
And what kills me is, I mean, my previous job was in telecommunications in the cell phone world, and you have about 60% of people buy cell phone insurance on their
Yes.
cell phones, and it's $11 to $13 a month that they pay.
Yeah.
And then if something happens, they still pay a $200
Yes.
deductible. So you're
Well,
still paying
think
for
about
a
the
course of
TV.
a year. You
Best Buy, they do
Exactly.
that extended
Yeah.
warranty on everything.
Exactly.
You
So
go buy a
they're willing
TV,
to
you
do
have
that.
to do that. Yeah.
So you're willing to protect $1,000
Computer,
phone,
right?
but what about your $15,000 in
Yes.
system in appliances in your home?
Yeah.
So to me, it's kind of a no-brainer
Yeah.
because if you're willing to protect your phone, protect your house.
Yeah.
And I actually hadn't thought about the aspect of getting one for your older parents' homes or your
Yeah.
older relatives,
Yes.
because not only is it good if you have to replace the system, of course that's
Yeah.
ideal, you're going to need thousands of dollars for that, but just
Yeah.
to know that they have a person to call, you know, they have one point of contact, which is the home warranty company, and then the home warranty company kind of takes it from there
Yeah.
and gets somebody out there, somebody that they've trusted, that they've set up, and for a lower service fee.
Yeah.
I mean, that's peace of mind just for people who don't
Absolutely.
even live in the home.
Exactly. And I mean, it honestly is one of those, like, the home warranty company handles everything. They vet out all the techs. They have rules and regulations that those techs have to follow. They can't just say, well, we're going to overcharge you all of this. They have guidelines that they have to stick within. So, I mean, we have techs, and they're all background checked. There's
Yeah.
not anything that we have to worry about.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to go
See,
out
I
and
love
be-
knowing that.
And you
Yeah.
don't need your folks trying
Exactly.
to ramble through a phone book if they have
Yes.
one,
Right.
you know, trying to find
Yeah.
somebody that they might be able to call.
Well,
It's just
and they
a
have their own insurance.
ease. Uh-huh.
So if something does happen, they still have their insurance to help cover it. So
Yeah.
should something else happen if they nick a water line.
Yep.
But part with homeowners insurance too with it is you have a dishwasher that leaks and under your sink and gets all the way through your hardwood floors.
Yeah.
Like they all call us and they're like, well, how come it's not covered? Well, we're not going to cover secondary damage because some of those homes have very
Yeah.
expensive hardwood floors.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
And not to mention, if
And
it's a
well,
slow
my
leak from the system
my
and you get
home,
mold.
We
Yeah.
put a brand new. We redid when I moved in. We redid the whole kitchen. Put in a brand new fridge. Well, guess what? In the back, it had a slow leak, and it became a bigger, slower, more quick leak
yeah.
over time.
But you
But it
don't
wasn't
see
even
it.
just a week or two. And again, I was like you. I didn't go down in the base. It's a finished, nice
Yeah.
basement, but rarely went down
Yeah.
there. Went down there, and I saw this drip,
Oh.
drip. And I was like, holy crap, what's going on? And it
Yeah.
was the new fridge. We didn't even know, but I had to have the contractor come out, look, and guess what? All the new hardwood floors all had to be
Replaced,
redone.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's expensive. And I always tell people, talk to your homeowner's insurance company because they might be
Yeah.
able to help with that secondary damage.
Yeah.
Because it's not something home warranty companies will ever cover.
Right.
But it is something that homeowners insurance is
Yeah,
covered
my
if you have the
homeowners
right
did pay for
policy.
it. Yeah.
So it's nice to know that you have that extra protection, and that's why it's always good to have them go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Because typically, what homeowners insurance doesn't cover, a home warranty will when it comes to systems in the house.
Yeah.
Right.
And then what the home warranty doesn't cover, typically homeowners insurance does.
Well, and now go over that because more people are familiar with a home insurance, and like you said, it covers the dwelling. What do home warranties typically cover so that people know?
So home warranties will typically cover any of the major systems in your home. So plumbing systems, electrical systems, your HVAC systems, appliances,
Stoves and
all kitchen appliances, so stoves, garbage disposals, trash compactors,
fridge.
fridges, yes.
Damn fridge.
It'll cover water heaters. Some of them even cover the fireplaces. They'll cover ceiling fans. They'll cover attic fans. They'll cover extra things that you don't think about in your home.
And isn't it that you can get a more basic home warranty,
Mhm.
but you can go out
Yes.
and cover more things? It's a little bit more
Yeah.
expensive, but
Yeah.
you can
so
get
all
them
your
to cover
basic
more.
will cover your main systems. So they'll cover plumbing, electrical, kitchen appliances, minus
Okay.
the fridge, because the fridge is one of those main ones that
Yeah,
always break.
because it leaks.
Yeah. It leaks and they're more expensive to repair,
Yeah.
and you have more expensive fridges. But they'll cover the main systems. What you want to make sure is when you're looking at the contract, what are the limitations for each company? Some companies will cap it out at $600 per appliance. You can't buy a new stove
no.
for $600.
No.
So
Maybe at a
and so-
garage sale.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can at a garage sale. That's not
eBay,
where the company buys
Craigslist.
it from. So, but you've got a cap out at 600, and that takes into effect the service call fee and the labor for the tech into that
Yeah.
600. So,
So
things
you're not
like
actually
that.
getting $600. Yeah.
So things like that you want to make sure you look at, and look at your HVAC coverage, because HVAC coverage, they'll limit it up to $1,500, $1,600.
Oh wow.
You can't repair an
No.
HVAC system or replace one for that low. So you're bound to have some outside costs. So you want to find a company that has a good reputation.
Yeah.
That is typically you want to go with a national company because they're going to have better coverage,
Yeah.
because they cover us so much more and they cover so many more areas.
Yeah.
So they have a little bit more contracts to handle with that backflow. And you want to make sure I always say recommend getting the upgrade on any plan, because the upgrade covers additional costs that you don't think about. So permits, if we have to replace a furnace, it'll cover the cost of a permit. It'll cover cost of removing the old units instead of having to pay a haul-away fee. It covers cost of bringing stuff
See,
up to code.
these are all things that nobody knows, and
Mm.
it's probably how much?
It's $100 more a year, so less
That's
than
it.
$10
Yeah,
a
less
month.
than $10 a month. That's
Yeah.
a couple Starbucks runs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're in my case, it's a day of Starbucks.
Yeah.
Well, Starbucks is getting expensive.
It is, and I'm addicted, so.
They come out with the delicious holiday flavors.
I
How am I
know.
supposed to stay away from
Hey,
that peppermint?
I hit that
Oh.
one, the hot chocolate peppermint thing, and I'm telling you, they were given the
The red cup?
Yeah.
I love the red cup.
It was
I
free
always-
that
too
day.
I sent my husband at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're going to go to this Starbucks, I'll go to this one and see whoever gets it.
No, I
Genius.
got it. I didn't even know. I didn't even prepare. I just happened to be
Yep.
there. But it was $5. So
Mhm.
again, a couple of those.
couple of
Put
those
that
and
put that
it's
money
covered.
where it's going to really help you out,
Well,
not
and-
just take
and
the edge
when
off
you
the
think
evening.
about it, when you think about it, your permits are typically $40 to $100 depending on the county.
Okay.
and you
See, most
want
people
your-
don't know that.
You
Yeah.
want your technician to pull that permit, because
Mhm.
if you go to sell the house and there's an inspection there,
Oh.
has to be permitted.
Yeah, yeah.
So you want your tech to pull that permit. You want to make sure that they're doing it
It's
properly.
permitted.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people understand that a little bit
Mhm.
more because all those flipping shows.
Oh yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure.
I am an HGTV junkie,
Oh,
so I mean, I
I
love
I don't
it.
think who isn't.
Love
Right,
me
yeah.
some- that and the Food Network. So anyway, but yeah, the HGTV. I mean, they have so many flipping shows,
Right.
and you watch them, and they always talk about is this room or is this X, Y, or Z permitted.
Yep.
So that's what you're referring to. Is
Yeah,
make
'cause
sure.
you want to make sure all your new appliances are permitted. And I have a funny story about that too, because
Uh-oh.
I was putting a gas line in my backyard,
Yeah.
and we hired a company that we did not check them out very well, and they pulled a false permit. So they lied about the permit. The permit number they gave us was a permit number for a water heater, like in a different community, like 2 blocks away.
So they just made it up.
They just
basically.
made it up, and
Oh
I
my
called
gosh.
the county to be like, "Hey, what's going on with this permit number?" They're like, that's not to your house. That's to another house, and that's for a water heater." It's like, oh, okay. So you can always call the county and check on your permit
Yes.
number.
Well,
to
Well,
make sure it's
I was just
Also
gonna say,
helpful
who would know to
information.
do that?
Yeah.
So
That
call
was a
the
little
county.
scary. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We were a little scared. Thankfully, I had not paid them yet.
Oh, wow.
Because they ran the gas line, and I was like, we're not turning any of that on until we have an actual
Uh-huh.
company
Yes.
come out. So
Yikes.
police
See,
got
there's
involved because
so
they
much-
falsified signatures from city
Documents.
officials and everything too. So
Wow.
It's a little bit of a crime.
just a tad bit.
Yikes. Well, and there are a lot of people
Mhm.
out like you. Well, you look at you're in this business, and you've had your dad, you've
Yeah.
had your own instance.
Yeah.
So I guess the takeaway is just really be careful,
Be
because
careful and protect yourself.
yeah,
There's-
protect your home, protect your family, but
And be educated. Know
Right.
what your policy covers. You know, I mean,
Exactly.
everybody
that's
needs to
getting
go
back
out,
to you.
call your insurance
Right.
agent. You know, see if you have a home warranty that you may not have known of.
Hail damage.
Look in
on
hail,
roof.
yeah,
yes.
hail
I
damage
mean,
That's
is
a
big
big one.
here.
be educated.
I'm from
know what your
California,
policy
so it's
includes.
flood and
Yeah.
earthquake damage, and then here it's hail.
Yeah.
There's always something.
There
so look
is.
in your own area
Yes.
for, you know,
Insurance is required for a reason. It's because most people need to use it at some point. You
Right.
never like paying for it, but then when you need it,
yeah, it's
you
like
really
auto
love having
insurance.
it. Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
You hopefully don't need it, but when you do,
Mhm.
it's there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And you always want to know what is covered because you want to be prepared. You don't want to be surprised if something
Yeah.
does happen and it's like, oh, I need to make a claim. You
Mhm.
want to know what your deductible
Yeah.
is. You want to know what's actually covered and what's not, because if you have to go make that claim,
Yeah.
you don't want to be sticker shocked when you don't get everything covered.
And don't pay for
I'm bad
insurance
about that.
if it's not going to cover you. Why are you paying all this
Yes.
money towards a policy that isn't going to cover you for the most commonly made claims?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Well, you
Um,
taught me that.
I
was
know.
with the same. I know.
Whipped
I
you
know
into
it's so
shape.
bad. I was with that same. I mean, I think at 16 or 15 or whatever, you get your parents' insurance or whatever, and you just kind of. I always had
Write
it,
it
and
out.
never even realized that I had such low deductibles in it. So I was paying a lot of money,
Mhm.
but. I was extra insured, and then you finally, I'd been giving you all, we've been doing business for so long, and all my clients just kept raving about you, and oh my gosh, she's saving me so much money, and oh, I love her, and blah blah blah. And then a couple years later, I go,
Hey,
hey,
Let's
what
check
about
on
my
mine.
stuff?
why don't I check?
I have
on
insurance
mine?
too.
Shocker.
Oh.
Why don't you kind of just run the numbers? And you're like, Chica, do you know how much you're paying for? And you don't even need all this coverage.
I mean, if
This
you
is
want to
insane.
pay $200 more a month for
Yeah.
like kind of the same
Yeah.
policy, I'll take it.
You're
You can just
like,
pay
if
me.
you want to, I mean, more power to
Just
you.
Go for it.
And it's so funny because I was
Business is good.
Yeah. send me more like you, sucker. But it's funny because as a financial advisor for all those years, I mean, we did insurance. That was part of what you did, to help people. And so I should know.
It's easy to get your blinders on
I'm
and
telling
do,
you, that's why we're doing this, because even me being in the industry, you girls being in the industry, I mean, we still have things happen, and me, just auto insurance, just like homeowners and whatnot, you get it, and you kind of don't think about it,
Like,
and your premium comes
I'm-
up, and you pay it.
Exactly. Like, I'm following the law. I've
Yeah.
got what I need.
Yes.
And that's
And you
pass,
think
and
you're
that's about
good.
it.
Oh my gosh, don't even get me started on the state minimum limits with auto insurance. So I mean,
that's a
that's
whole
that's
other show.
terrifying too. That's a whole other
other
bag.
show.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. I
Mhm.
mean, just even me being educated, that's why it's so important
Right.
that we do this today, just because it's, I mean,
And it really speaks to the quality, I think, of you as well, that you are so proactive in finding. You're so great. You're so
You're just
proactive
amazing.
in finding out information that doesn't have to do with your industry, just because you're dealing with so many clients that come from so many different areas of life, and they're all going through this loan process, and you are educating yourself so that you can then pass that along, and that speaks, I think, a lot to you, because you're not just getting the people in the door, do your job and send it on. You're really educating them and making sure that they're set up in every aspect that doesn't even affect you when they make a claim on
Right.
their home 5 years after they've closed on a loan.
I'm not
That's
around.
not
It's,
gonna
it's
do
you're not on the hook, but you
Or
feel good
warranty.
about what you've done to
Yeah.
educate your clients,
Well,
and I
yeah,
think that's really great.
that's the most important thing for me, and that's why I surround myself with you all, because honest to goodness, it takes a team to get somebody a home, or as a financial advisor, get them secure, and you have to have things in place to protect them. And like you said, long after they're out of my world and they're in their home and whatnot, it's just still so important to me. I rest easier knowing that they're protected, and I don't even really ask you too much. It's just like, go to Jen,
Yeah.
go to Johnny, and I just send them. But that's speaks highly of you guys, because I surround myself with only like the top people who obviously are really knowledgeable, know what they're talking about, work for amazing companies that really protect and offer a lot so that
Mhm.
you have, you know, a wide range of things that you can offer people, because everybody doesn't fit in one box. And answer your damn phone because
You know, that's
you know how many
amazing.
people don't answer
I
their
know, and I'm
phone.
like, isn't that like the bare minimum
Yes,
in your
pick up your
job?
phone. You're the cell phone people.
Come
You
on.
too. Yeah. It's like answer your phone. But you know, people who get a hold of you, I'm shooting you a text yesterday going, ASAP help, I need, you know, so and you right away, you're like, I'm driving, just send me the info and I'll get it right done. And so I know that I can count on you because fires do happen and buying a home, it's not always a smooth transition.
No.
But I like to not have my
Any
clients know either how bad it can get because I just like to go, hey, I
We
need
got
y'all
this,
to
yeah.
try and figure this out so we can make sure that this happens. And sometimes I
Absolutely.
don't even let them know. Just that we figured it out. We're
Don't
good.
worry about
Yes.
it. You're
Yeah, don't
good.
worry
It was
about
painful,
it. We're good.
We're not gonna
ugly, and
stress about
brutal.
it. You don't need to stress. We
Got a
got you
bottle of
covered.
wine in my hand now to deal with it, but we figured it out.
They're sitting at the closing going, that was easy. And you're like,
Right.
oh my
Uh-huh.
God.
I'm so
Yes,
glad
it
this is
was.
done.
Even knew. Yeah. So I thank both of you too because I just, you know, it again takes a freaking village.
It
So,
It does.
and you two are
We
the
love
best
being a
in
part of
your-
your village.
We do.
We have a lot of fun
We
too.
do. Our village is fun.
Our village is a fun one.
Yes.
Includes a lot of champagne and
Yes.
wine.
Yes, it does.
Giggles.
Giggles,
giggles.
laughing.
Chocolate.
Oh, yes.
cheese.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, cheese.
We
Don't
have
forget the
another
cheese.
member of the team who I surround myself by beautiful women. I don't know, you know, you got
There's
girls,
worse
but
places
yeah.
to be.
All right, so let's get to, we've talked an awful lot. I'm sure people's
Mhm.
heads are swimming
They're like,
with
"Wait,
all the
women love this,"
information.
right?
Yeah. So let's go, Cara's Corner. I love to do, you know, some tips at the end so that people can, you know, things that other people may not know. So great tip that nobody may know.
You know what? I think something that a lot of your people can probably relate to. So, if you are going to be a first-time home buyer and you're currently renting,
Yep.
get a renter's policy. A lot of people think, you know what? I don't have that much in assets. So I don't, you know, my couch
do
or
I
my
need that?
clothes. I don't need $20,000 in personal property or liability, whatever. You do, because when you're going, not only do you need the coverage for if something did happen, but
Right.
when you do go to buy your first home, insurance score is much like a credit score. So you need to use your credit in order to build your credit. You need to have an insurance policy in order to have a high insurance score. So when you go to get your homeowner's insurance policy, if you have a high insurance score because you have prior existing insurance in place,
Oh.
your rate is going to be lower. You have a better insurance score.
Oh.
So I mean, a renter's policy is
Again,
literally
don't know
$8 to
that.
$12 a month.
Yeah.
I mean, we got like a lot of cups of coffee amongst this now, so I can't really relate that
Yeah.
to another cup of coffee. But it's so inexpensive, but it helps you to establish your insurance score, as well as keeping you protected. You know, what if liability claim? I had a client who was renting, and she was walking her neighbor's dog who bit somebody,
Uh-oh.
and she had to make a liability claim on her own policy because long story behind that, but. Get it
Yeah.
in place, spend a little bit of money because it will work for you down the
Yeah.
road. So I'd say that's probably
Well,
my tidbit.
That's what I was just saying too, because when I was living in California, we had all the massive fires and whatnot, and I was buying a home and I had renter's insurance, and it was super, super cheap, but I just got renter's insurance. Now I think a lot of rental companies make you have it, but a lot of people go, I'll just get like the lowest or whatever, as long as you have it. But they had a moratorium at the time because of all the fires on homeowners. So I could have bought a home. It had to and was required to have homeowners insurance in order to buy my home, but yet there's a moratorium on homeowners insurance. It wasn't until my agent, renter's agent, said, oh, well, you have renter's insurance, so we'll protect you for homeowners. Only had I not had that renter's insurance, I would have had to pay some shady company that would have charged me like thousands of dollars. I mean, because there was a moratorium on even getting insurance.
And there are binding restrictions often in Colorado with the fires as well.
wow.
So I mean,
Yeah,
it's the same idea. We have binding restrictions
So
if you don't
again,
have
if you're
policy
in
in place.
Colorado or
Out
if
of luck.
you're in California, other places, great tip for you.
Read your contract. Know what it covers.
Get a contract.
Get a contract.
First get one.
First get one and then read it and then talk to your agent. Make sure your agent is able to help you and help you get to the right companies that you need to go with the home warranty company.
Okay.
They're going to have their favorites, so make sure you talk to them.
Perfect. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you for
I
having
appreciate you
us.
guys coming in. I mean, I love spending time with you anyway. We're just missing the wine or champagne right now.
I know, next time we need to have our flutes on the table.
Yes, exactly. But thank you again for taking time out to hopefully educate a lot of other people.
Mm-hmm.
So, and stay tuned to Cara's Corner for more great information and inspiration. And you can follow me on Facebook at Cara Belsby Lender. If you need a mortgage, contact me through Cara Belsby Lender. And of course, go to my blog, carabelsby.com. Sign up. It's free.